tell you what, I'm all Olympicked out. Are you Olympicked out?
Do you know, I don't feel like I've had the had the most of it. I actually had to check the medal table, which was massively disappointing because I just wanted like a huge round table made of medals, but all it is like an Excel spreadsheet of who's won what. I thought everyone, when you won a medal, I thought it was a bit like keys in a bowl at one of those weird parties. I thought you all had to fling your medals on the table and then someone to take a picture of it regularly.
Well, see, I check the medal table every 10 minutes just to see if anything's changed.
Just in case.
Even when the athletes are asleep.
Just
I check it.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you can win like 100 silvers and bronzes.
Doesn't matter.
But then the country that wins 1 gold is higher on the table than you. It's like it really is like, okay, we award silver and gold and bronze medals. However, winning is everything. So but I don't feel like I'm Olympic out because it's just kind of passed me by. I've been away, Russ. That's why I've been away.
Yeah. Prison.
I have been to prison, yes.
Yeah.
But that's just where my pen pal lives.
You're too pretty to go to prison.
Do you think so?
You wouldn't last 5 minutes.
I think I would last 5 minutes, but I would be married within 5 minutes. I would be married wearing mascara made out of the grime on the side of the door.
Ooh.
And lipstick from food coloring that you get in knickknacks. That's what I would look like within 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think you would.
Definitely would. So how's your week been?
How's my wig been? It's not a wig.
No, we know that. We know you're genetically blessed. You don't need a wig.
I don't need a wig. I'll never need a wig. How's my week? How's my week been? Or I'm going to give you a typical British answer.
Go on.
That's been all right.
Has it? Yeah. Should we go straight into 3 questions then?
Was that not an exotic enough answer?
It was just rubbish. It was absolute rubbish. I know that you are an international man of mystery. I know you've been on calls and meetings from all over the globe, but I also accept that you're some kind of budget James Bond character, so can't talk about it.
Yeah, that's only because I shared my calendar with you and you saw what meetings I had on. But it's all top secret.
Okay.
As my best man when I got married always used to say to me, John Adams or Red Dog, he always used to say to me, hey, the less you know, the less the police need to know. So that's good advice.
What you mean Sting? Would he be doing a song about it?
Yeah, he's always putting like letters in.
Hey Sting, what's Russ doing later? He's talking on Zoom. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much, Sting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Is he recognizing social distancing? Yeah. Don't stand so. Don't say it all fits.
Yeah. And of course, Sting is an angel investor in our first ever business venture.
He is. Roxanne.
You don't have to turn on the red lights.
Exactly, and it's going incredibly well. We've branched out into other shades of red. So we have scarlet, we have
burgundy,
and the controversial magenta range. Some are claiming a pink, but we're standing by its red undertones.
We've been challenged by Cerise. You don't have to put on the red light. They've challenged us, so we had to call it magenta.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's going well.
It's going very good. Right. So I've actually done a bit of preparation, which is rare for me.
Yeah, I can't be bothered. I've done no question prep. I'm just going to wing it like you. I call it the Greg Davies method.
It's a great method. It served me really well in life, says the 42-year-old divorcee.
He's still winning.
Hashtag Charlie Sheen. Mine are either based on love or hate. So I'm just going to give you 3 things, and I need to know if you love or hate them. So I'm going to start number 1, quite easy. Coriander.
Yeah, love it.
Love it.
What about you?
Yeah, absolutely love it.
Are we doing rapid fire? Are you going to do these 3 and then I'll do?
I am, but I'm going to give it. So about between the
these 3 questions or 3 elements to 1 question.
These are 3 questions. So this was my first one. But apparently some of the reason why some people hate coriander is down to it's a genetic thing.
Yeah.
There's a gene and it makes it taste particularly pungently horrible. So when you get this, coriander, it's lovely, it's floral, and people are like, no, it's not a personal choice, it's a genetic thing. So I wanted to see where you fell on that one. So what's your first question, Russ?
Well, just before I ask you my first question, give yourself a bit of thinking time. Somebody once explained it to me as, do you have soapy jeans? And I thought it was like one of those foam parties or something.
Yep.
I thought that ended badly for me. But thank you for your scientific knowledge of food. So my first question for you is, are you ready? What's your favourite airline? Oh.
See, this is interesting because I started my working life, my proper job, working for BA, and then I was married for 16 years.
Out of the A team?
No, not BA Baracus.
Oh, right.
He wouldn't allow me on no damn plane.
Well, that's why I was confused then.
He would pity me as a fool if I did step on a plane. So I was married to 16 years for someone who then worked for Virgin. So I appreciate the transatlantic routes of Virgin. But I think the best one that I've ever been on is New Zealand Airways.
I'm glad you said that. That's mine.
Is it yours?
Love Air New Zealand.
They're brilliant, aren't they? And it normally comes down to either Air New Zealand or Singapore Air seems to be really highly rated as well. But it's just a service thing, isn't it? They seem genuinely happy to see you. Whereas I've recently just taken a trip back on a budget Irish airline. And it was like everything was like they were doing you a favor. It was, you want us to put steps up to the plane, do you?
Yeah.
You know,
£5 for steps, please.
Yeah, exactly. And tragedy. You know, I didn't want to hear it, but they still did. Okay, so my next question for you. Yeah. These are love and hate. Pineapple on a pizza? Question.
Love.
We do.
Yeah, love.
Yeah. And have you heard the new one based on? So it's big in South Africa, and it's I saw it for the first time on a menu in this country, and it's bacon and banana on a pizza.
Crazy fool. But years ago, I used to go to a restaurant in Stockton called Borgia's. Don't mind naming it, just in case fashion gives us some free food and stuff like that. And they did a Tropicana pizza, which was pineapple, banana.
But the drinks were free.
Fun and sunshine. There's enough for everyone.
So go on. What was on it? Banana,
pineapple, and chicken.
Wow. How was it? Foul. Hey.
Got no time for jokes like that. In my life, got no space for. So when you asked me how my week was going, better than this.
Better than the first 9 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah. So my next question.
Yeah.
So my next question is, if you could drive any car in the world, what would that car be?
So I've got 2. One would be a Bugatti Veyron.
Like it.
Because it was just amazing when it blasted onto the scene. And the other would be a C1 Corvette, one of the old style Corvettes. And it's because my brother, we went to France on a school trip, and I bought a skateboard and used it basically as a scooter for the rest of my life because I wasn't very good at balancing.
Sat down, just did that.
Exactly, that's exactly what I did. Just pushed it along with
your hands.
And he bought a die-cast model of like a powder blue C1 Corvette. And if you want to know what the C1 Corvettes look like, they're the 2 types. Lucifer drives a black one.
Beautiful.
So he's got the twin headlights, but the one that my brother had single headlights on it. And it had the kind of thin down the side, and it was just beautiful. I'd love to drive one of those. And yours?
I'd have to go for, because I think, listen, I'd love to drive a BMW i8, I'd
Yeah.
love to drive an Audi R8. You know, those I love those kind of cars. But you think, although they're not achievable for me, they're not a million miles away. They're kind of production cars.
Yeah.
Like, I would take a different route, and I'd like to drive a car that you would go, wow, I'm a bit starstruck.
What, like the lunar lander? The lunar
Yeah, the beach buggy that the banana splits drove onto the la 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 la
the
la.
Munsters hearse drag
Oh,
racer.
yeah.
Yeah, no, go on. So what would it be?
Or the Ghostbusters hearse.
Oh, Ecto One, yeah.
It'd be the three-wheeler, the yellow three-wheeler from Only Fools and Horses, Trotters International Trading. No, it wouldn't. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Be Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be very good. I think that's at Bewley, isn't it? At Bewley Motor.
Well, it depends on what you believe, because there's not just one. It's one of those cars. There's not just one. There was a few that we used in the film.
Yeah. Okay. So there's many different versions of it. A bit like the Bond, like the Bond Aston Martins. There's all different ones, like
different ones
with the guns out the front and all stuff like that were pre-built. Okay, my last one in the love and hate category, Marmite.
I'm going to buck the trend here, mate. Do I have to pick love or hate?
No, you tell me.
I'm indifferent to it. I mean, I don't.
You are the first person I've ever met who could take it or leave it.
I don't mind it. I mean, it's all right, but I don't have any in the cupboard at the moment.
I'm really impressed. I mean, I'm firmly on the Marmite loving side. In fact, my go-to snack at the moment is peanut butter and Marmite on toast. It's so good. They even sell it in jars now, pre-mixed.
I've seen that.
And the other one, which chefy people are using a lot, and I tried with Chris and Sue Williams, the lovely Chris and Sue Williams.
Chris and Sue Williams
was Marmite and marmalade on toast, and it has got that kind of sweet, savoury, bittersweet thing going on. It's not a bad drop, so it's worth a try. And give me your third question.
The third question, it's like, there's no question that's been asked so far by either of us that's made me go, wow, that's a great question. So I'm gonna try and do that now.
Okay.
Close your eyes now. When you open your eyes, you can be stood on any beach anywhere in the world. Where's that beach, Greg Davies?
It would be the Maldives for me.
Oh, so good. There's lots of beaches in the Maldives, like literally thousands of beaches in the Maldives.
Yeah, there are, but it would be. I was very, very lucky to go in my early 20s to the Maldives, and it was a staff deal and ridiculously cheap, and would never happen again. And I'm not a big beach holiday person. I normally need lots of distractions and water sports and snorkeling and all stuff like that. But the Maldives is the closest place I've ever been to a deserted island beach paradise. It was just stunningly beautiful. So yeah, it would be a Maldivian beach. And you?
Not the Maldives for one reason. I didn't like those little crabs that come out at night out the water
with the one big claw.
Thousands of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit arachnophobic, and they move a little bit like spiders.
I'm not a little bit arachnophobic. I am arachnophobic. I hate. Yeah.
So when they come out of the water, and it's really funny because if anybody who's listening has been to the Maldives, when you walk along the beach, they're frightened of you, so they run away, so they go back in the water, or they clear out the way. So they're no threat to you. They're not going to attack you or anything. But it just meant that I didn't like going out on the beach at night. When we went, the island was that small that you could walk around it in 10 minutes. You know, it was like, and, you know, because some of the islands you go to, they have multiple resorts on them. They're a bit bigger.
Yeah.
And I quite liked the one we went to because it really was quite basic. The food was amazing because it was all like fish and fresh prepared. And
freshly prepared, yeah.
Nice, yeah. So, That's it then, isn't it?
No, you haven't told me what beach it would be.
Oh, right, yeah. So my beach, because I'm not a big beach person. I like a pool more than a beach. So my beach would probably be, I'm going to go basic here. I'm going to stay in the UK. Be a surprise, won't it? It's Whitby.
Oh, I do like Whitby.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. Whitby Beach.
You've mentioned Whitby on a previous podcast with expensive fish and chips and such.
Yeah, some of them are. There's a place called the Magpie Cafe because the guy that owns it is a Newcastle United fan, so he called it the Magpie Cafe. Burned down a few years ago. They've rebuilt it. There's always a queue outside to get in, and it's a sit-down restaurant-y place. But it's like £17.50 for fish and chips. I mean,
you're paying for the location now, aren't you?
You are. But there's lots of choice now in Whitby. We went during lockdown because somebody that we both know, Jamie Sinclair.
Yes.
He was doing the coast to coast and it was terminating in Whitby. So Jill and I took Edward, our youngest, and we went and we saw him on the route and then we drove to Whitby and we saw him come in at Whitby.
Just out of interest, is he ever going to do it again?
He's not mentioned he's never going to do it again, has he?
Yeah, I remember you and I talking about it, and you saw him 3 or 4 times on the route, and every time he was like, "I'm not doing it again."
Yeah, but he'd shout it, "I'm never doing this again!
I'm not doing it!"
Yeah, congratulations, and yeah, I'm never doing it. But you see, these people that do extreme stuff like him and Jill and Charlie and Tim and all these people we know that go and do these crazy sports, they all say that until the next time it's coming round. And they go, yeah, I'll do it again.
There must be an element of childbirth about it, and bear with me on this one because if you ask any woman going through childbirth at the point that they're giving birth, do you want another one? Their answer is going to be, their answer would be a number of things, but inevitably it's, I never want to do this again. Yeah. But then the pain obviously fades, the memory of the pain fades, and you remember all the other wonderful things. So, like Brian Downton, he's done an Ironman. He had to pull out of a Bolton Ironman because he had a back issue. He's absolutely going to do it again, even though he was in so much pain when he was trying to finish that last one. So there must be, the brain just must have a wonderful way of filtering out the bad. And I suppose it's like nostalgia almost. It just pushes you through that kind of that mental toughness barrier. So what we've established is that they were relatively average questions. So did you lose me then? I think I jumped them out there. So what we've established,
you like froze a little bit and then
we established that they were 3 relatively average questions. So that's good. So as we're going for a shorter podcast today, we have about 11 minutes remaining. I want to go straight into a bit of business news. Go on.
I do have some local business news and it ties in. Seems though we're going for brevity and we're going to try. This is like a travel edition. This is like a short version.
It is, yeah.
I do have a little bit of news and I think it'll blow your tiny mind.
Go.
Because it's also best in class.
Okay, well, you need to do a combined theme tune then.
Best in class.
I didn't even mention business news because that was implied by the tonage. I loved it.
It's a mashup. It's a bit like Answer Smash on Richard Osman's House of Games. So because it's a hybrid, I'm going to just pop the glasses on my head, not on my eyes. So Five Guys, the burger restaurant.
Yep.
Best of class, yeah? Amazing burgers. Any company...
I'm a huge fan.
Any company that can charge a family of 4 for burger, chips and drink 50 quid. That's for a takeaway type burger thing. Get this is going to blow your mind. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
At Teesside Park in Stockton-on-Tees, the town that I was born. It's a little bit Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that, isn't it? Stockton-on-Tees. Anyway, first ever UK Five Guys drive-through.
How are they going to achieve that? I mean, they're not fast food, are they?
I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out because I'm going to go every day.
Well, so in when my girls lived down in Sussex and Crawley, through the pandemic, they were doing order on an app and then curbside pickup. However, the whole process of actually going to the speakery thing and
the what thing?
The speakery thing and
the
going,
speakery thing.
Yeah. I would like that, please. And then picking it up. I'm intrigued actually to see how they're going to do it because they're not a fast producing food outlet, are they?
Well, I've got something that'll get you excited.
Go on.
A rumor has it that you and Frankie might be coming up to the northeast in the next few months.
Yes, that rumor is correct.
On your way home, you could go, oh, I might have to stop for lunch at this drive-thru. You could actually be the first Londoner to go through but when you order the food, don't say, hello, I'll have a burger, please. You have to go, how man, hiya burger in a bun and hiya hour here, like that.
Right, okay. If you can write that down for me, that'd be amazing.
How man, hiya burger in a bun, hiya hour here.
Do they give you free monkey nuts as you're waiting in the drive-through? Because I
don't get the monkey nuts thing. That's all. We've had this before. I don't get the
it's nuts. Just weird, isn't it? It's like, okay, we know you use peanut oil, but that's not how you order it in. It's
if they cook the chips in peanut oil, do they have to put like a nut allergy thing on the chips?
Well, you'd imagine so, wouldn't you?
I would have thought so.
Yeah. Maybe we can find out. Who do you know with a peanut allergy that we can test that on?
Just send them in.
Oh, it'd be fine. No, definitely vegetable oil. Definitely. Don't worry about the peanuts. They're just decorative.
Closing up.
Russ, we were right.
Yeah, it's peanut oil. Very good, very good. Well, I've got something else we could cover if you want.
Well, so I want to. So there's been a report on BBC News today that a government official high up in the cabinet, I can't remember his name. They change so regularly at the moment. Allegedly. The moment you're going government, mate, I'm just covering ourselves, right? Thank you very much. Yeah. And they're worried about the younger working generation home working. And they're worried about it because you're not forming the relationships that will help you get on in your career latterly. So they're talking about the water cooler moments and meeting someone by the coffee machine and you know, that office pranks and office banter, all the kind of the stuff that you do basically to make it through the working day that people just aren't experiencing now. How do you see that having an impact on people?
See, it sounds horrible because all I heard you saying there is illicit encounters and bullying in the workplace. That's what I heard. So
yeah, no office parties, no sexual harassment, no
photocopier, no
stealing of stationery, wasting time. Yeah, okay. So what you're saying is we're going to have a well-rounded workforce in about 10 years' time.
Well, yeah, the thing is, you've got blue chip companies that are moving entire workforces to home working.
Yeah.
And they're saving their companies millions of pounds a year. And what we'll see off the back of this is a repurposing of buildings.
Yep.
You know, we've already seen in some towns and cities old shops, pubs, nightclubs that are turned into accommodation, homes of multiple occupancy, apartments.
Yeah, you know, we've discussed it on here before. We're going to see two sways of migration. So we're going to see those that own property in the middle of town having no need to do that now. And a few of my friends are already doing it. They're moving out of London into some of the home counties. But there's also going to be an influx, as you said, where people are maintaining one floor of an office block for hot desking, whereas they had 4 or 5 before. Those 4 or 5 will, you know, when you lump them all together, will go across to to apartments and flats. So we're then going to get new communities in the middle of London again, and the bigger cities around the UK. And I think it's going to be quite an exciting time. to see that kind of stuff spring up. I just love the fact that for years companies have raged against allowing flexible working hours, supporting those with disabilities, with and because they were forced into it, they were like, okay, well, we'll let you do it, but we know it's not going to work. And now it's like, oh, okay, so when we look after our staff look after us. That's a surprise. So no, I agree. And the only aspect I will miss from working in an office is the bright yellow citrus based drink you used to get from a coffee machine. No one knew what flavor it was. Some people actually believed it was the cleaning fluid, but it was the only cold drink you could get from a hot coffee machine.
It was like a powdered drink, wasn't it? That they added water to.
It was like, oh no, there's a power cut. It's all right. Go and get a cup of radioactive juice, and we'll be able to see you for years. No, it really was. Right, Russ, what else have you got for us?
Well, the only other thing I've got is I've been watching the Olympics, which you've been ignoring.
It's passed me by.
Yeah, I mean, I know. So you mentioned, right, and that you've been misimagining a medal table that isn't a table. And I just wanted to say, there's some sports in there that, imagine you went into a coma 30 years ago and you woke up. The sports that were like their mainstays at the Olympics now, like rugby sevens and things, and football at the Olympics, you'd be like, well, what's that? And then somebody would go, hang on, the BMX is on in a minute.
Yeah.
What? BMX, Olympic sport. What? Yeah, then skateboarding. What? Beach volleyball. Huh? I mean, I think there's some crazy old sports. I'm embracing them. I'm giving them a go only because we're quite good at the BMX and skateboarding. So,
and the mountain biking. We won a medal in the mountain biking, didn't we?
Didn't just win a medal, we won a gold.
Yeah.
Gold in the mountain biking, gold in the BMX, anything with two wheels, wear your country, But I was talking to my son about this, and he was saying, we're not doing very well in the medal table. Now he's 17. His point of reference is London 2012, where we were second or third in the medal table.
Yeah.
And we had Super Sunday, and it was just a romantic time for the city and also for sport. And that's his memory of the Olympics. So when he sees that we've only got 11 golds and we're sixth in the medal table, he's like, that's a disgrace. I was like, Harry, have you seen USA has a population that's 6-7 times that of ours? China, there are some amazingly large countries out there. By the law of averages, you would expect that they would be doing better than this little country that said to Europe, we don't want to be part of you. Just leave. I'm going to my bedroom to sulk. Leave me alone, Europe.
Leave us alone, yeah. The only kind of outlier in that is obviously Australia, but they've got nothing better to do. I mean, they're basically water birthed. They go straight into a pool. They only come out to eat. When they're not eating, they're running away from kangaroos. So, they are an athletic and sporty nation. And of course, they have that Southern Hemisphere winners mentality. So everything I said about water birthing and running away from kangaroos is allegedly, by the way. Because I know Graber will be on to us.
Oh, Graber will be listening to this and he'll be going, Struth, tie me kangaroo down, hold me beer. I'm gonna get over there. I'm gonna
give you a thrashing with a wobble board.
And all other cultural
stereotypes.
Yeah.
It's really interesting what you said though, because I mean, obviously, you and I grew up in a similar generation where we watched the Olympics, and it was like, oh my God, we got a joint bronze in one event, and like that person was the celebrity for 3.5 years. Until the next Olympics rolled around. And it really was, it was that lead. So when you had someone like Daley Thompson come along who, and Fatima Whitbread and people like that, they really were held up at a massive level. I remember when Jonathan Edwards started doing well in the triple jump as well. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, people were like, they were so taken aback by the achievement, and it was just testimony to the kind of underfunding that we had for sports. And I'm so glad, like, if you want to talk about legacy of Olympics, what 2012 gave us was proper planning for investment in sports. And we had to go, obviously we had to go, we've had to cut it back a bit because it was unsustainable, but I do believe that we've got really good legacy planning now with the sports that are coming through, and it's it's wonderful to see our name up there where it belongs.
You went a bit serious there. Legacy planning for BMX.
Well, it was, it was our exhibition sport, wasn't it, at 2012? So we had to go with it, and I still want to see the one where you give someone a backy on the bike, so you're racing around, but you've got your fat mate behind you, and your back tire isn't pumped up properly like it used to be, and that's what I want to see.
That would be an amazing BMX event. You've taken that away from the Olympics. What I've taken away from the 2012 Olympics is, because we're going to stay there in about 3 weekends' time, the Olympic Park and the Westfield Centre and all the redevelopment of that part of London. Because I just think, when you think what it looked like before, for me, it's not just the investment in the sport, it was the investment in London. And it put London on the map as a really cool capital city and really cool city to visit. I'm a big fan of London, big fan of visiting, big fan of coming home. But if you think about it, all those cities around the world that have had the Olympics, London's probably taken the biggest legacy from it. And if there was nothing else that came out of those Olympics, that viewing floor in the John Lewis in the Westfield Centre was amazing.
There you go. And on that note,